Ramada. Who knew there was such a thing as a bodega cat and an entire bunch of humans who want to document them and make them a legit part of New York City life, which they already are. How did you wind up being this guy?
That's a great question, and I'm still struggling to answer it, but I will try my best. So it dates back to 2020 when I first started the Bodega Cats of New York account. So the idea there was I was just going to document bodega cats in my
Yes.
neighborhood. I didn't realize how big of a demand and how big of a project this would end up being and how much of my life it would consume in the best way possible. But 2020, I started posting photos of my local bodega cats. It was a lot of Luna and a lot of Oreo from my neighborhood in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, mostly off of Myrtle Avenue in Brooklyn. And it evolved from there. I was hesitant to repost other people's bodega cat photos. And when people would send me their photos, I was resistant. I didn't really want to post their photos. I just wanted it to be my little hobby, my
Got it.
COVID project. And then after a while, it became pretty overwhelming to the point that I kind of just gave in. And around 2022 is when I really started to repost other people's photos of their bodega cats from their neighborhoods in neighborhoods across New York City that I had never even heard of. So that was a cool geographic learning experience for me as well.
Yes.
But 2022 is when it really started to take off, and we started posting other people's bodega cat photos. We built up quite the catalog of thousands and thousands of photos on the Instagram. And that kind of, from there, that kind of all led to the book, to the petition, to the legislation on the city and state level. So, yeah, that's, I guess,
Okay, so let's go back. First, the book.
yeah.
Talk about that because you're going to have to
Mhm.
come back on the show as a separate thing, and we're going to plug the book and talk about the book.
Amazing.
But talk
Oh, my
about the book.
goodness.
Tell us. Tell me.
Yeah. So it's a 240-page hardcover book. It's from Quarto Publishing, and it
Ooh,
features 60 stories from 60 different bodega cats.
wow.
My photographer and I, Golche, we spent years visiting bodegas. We visited close to 250 bodegas to try to
Wow.
find, yeah, the cats that would end up in the book. And it's coming out October 2026. It's a coffee table book, hardcover, uh,
Fantastic. You're going to
beautiful
have to come
photography.
you're going to have to come back and we will talk about that journey of yours, which
I would love
that's
that.
great. And Quarto Publishing is a wonderful publisher. They make great looking books. All right.
Absolutely.
So then now we get to the petition. What was
Yeah.
that? What was the petition?
So the petition is so when I started it last year, January 2025, the ask wasn't to legalize bodega cats. The ask was to get the city to provide resources to cat rescues in New York City to give them the kind of resources that they need to help our bodega cats across New York City because they're really the backbones of the care institution around bodega cats. It's really cat rescues in New York City. So they ask was, hey, New York City, allocate funding, reallocate funding, and provide resources to cat rescues and make spaying and neutering really affordable or completely free. So that was the ask. And then what happened was the mayor's office reached out. So they emailed me, Alexandra Silver from the mayor's office. She's the director of animal welfare. And she says to me on a call, she goes, look, we saw your petition. It had a few hundred signatures at this point. It was starting to gain momentum. But she reaches out to me and she goes, look, we would love to allocate resources for bodega cats specifically. The problem is they are illegal under New York City's health code.
Oh my gosh.
So she said, look, our hands are tied. We can't technically allocate funding to something that's illegal. So I had this kind of moonshot light bulb go off, right? You could probably picture it above my head.
Yeah, the one that
And I
says,
said,
wait, let's just legalize them.
literally, exactly. I said, oh, so all you have to do is legalize bodega cats? And I said, okay, let's do that. So then I take the petition, I change the language, I change the title. And then after I added legalized bodega cats in the title, it just took off. And as of today, as
Wow.
of June 2026, it's got just over 14,000 signatures and it's been covered all over the world. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Isn't
it was a
that
moonshot, but
something?
it's happening. It's
And
actually
so,
happening.
okay, so you have this insane number of people saying, yes, bodega cats are a backbone of this city and we need them.
Absolutely.
And in fact, you do actually need them in bodegas or anywhere else in the city or any urban area because it keeps rats at bay. The rats don't
That's
want to
right.
come there.
That's
So,
right.
where is that petition in the machinations of politics or laws, or how does that work?
Yeah, once I changed the title, we started gaining even more traction. More hundreds and hundreds of people started signing the petition. And then I got an Instagram DM from Keith Powers. He was a city councilman at the time. He got term limited out, but he's running, I think, for the New York State Assembly. So he reaches out and he says, look, I love this idea. I want to make it happen. How can we get involved? What can we do
Wow.
exactly? And I said, okay, great. These are my ideas. And I gave him a long list of ideas. And he said, okay, some of this stuff we can't really do. Like a lot of this stuff is on the state level, but on the city level, here's what you can pick and choose from. So I said, okay, look, here's what I think we could do. So we settled on let's legalize bodega cats on the city level in the sense that they're no longer going to be a reason a health inspector gives you a summons.
Ah,
So right now, as of today, bodega cats lead to about a $300 all the way up to $1,500 summons
wow.
to the store owner just for having a cat. But it's that kind of awkward catch 22 in New York City where we know it works, but it's still illegal. So it's an effective form of, like you just said, rodent control. It keeps rats and mice out of our bodegas. It keeps them clean. And it's a very effective form of doing that. But
Yes.
unfortunately, it is illegal and you'll get a fine. You have to choose between keeping your cat or paying a summons. So like it's such a funny catch 22, as I like to call it. A lot of the owners, most of the owners, and not all of them, they say, hey, I'll pay the fine so I can keep the cat. It's cheaper than hiring an exterminator to put poison in my shop, to put
Right.
pesticides. So they end up paying the fine, which I thought was just crazy. So we said in the city bill, let's eliminate the fines, let's legalize them on a city level. And then let's offer free spaying and free neutering. And then also like
Wow.
education. Let's educate bodega owners on caring
Yes.
for a cat. Because a
Yes.
lot of them mean well, but they don't know how to care for a cat.
That's
And the spaying and the neutering part it was an obvious one. We have an overpopulation problem
right.
for stray and feral cats in New York City. And unfortunately, bodega cats, they contribute to that. So the idea here was like, let's curb that and let's also
Right.
make them legal. Let's help our business owners, but let's also realize that they're an important cultural institution
Yes.
to New York City. So that was the city bill. And then a few months later, Linda Rosenthal from New York State, I think she's a New York State senator. She introduces a bill to completely legalize bodega
Whoa.
cats. Yeah,
No
on a
kidding.
state level. Exactly. Yeah. So now this petition is taking off. I'm ecstatic. The news is reaching out to me. NPR interviewed me, the New York Times. It really started to take off. But the state bill, it goes even further. And here's why I'm such a huge fan of the state bill. The state bill designates actual care standards. So it says, look, if you're going to keep a bodega
Wow.
cat, you have to follow these rules. So clean
Nice.
water, healthy, nutritious food, a place for the cat to sleep, spaying, neutering. They're going to check vet records when the health inspectors come, and also some education in there as well. They're going to allocate funding for spaying and neutering as well. But for the first time ever, it says actual care standards. And when the bill is actually passed, the state bill is going to tell the Department of Agriculture and Markets. They're the ones who really designate the rules around live animals in New York State shops. But it's going to be up to the Department of A&G or AG to decide what happens if you don't follow these rules. So if you have a cat that turns out that's
Right.
being abused, what happens? Chances are they're going to take away the cat. It'll be a stricter summons, which great. If you have to take away the cat because it's being
Yeah.
abused, take the cat.
Sure.
No one is arguing.
Yeah.
It sets up actual care standards and repercussions for not following these care standard rules. So now it's city legalized, state about to be legalized. Both bills are sitting in committee. They're just waiting to have a hearing scheduled. We fully expect them to pass, but it might take some time.
Man, you got some education
Yeah,
in
I
how
got
all this
schooled.
works. Now, what did you do for your day job? You don't own a
Yes.
bodega. I'm not kidding. I doubted that
I,
you owned a bodega, but it'd be really cute if you're like, I actually own three bodegas. No,
yeah.
that'd be so cool if you did. But I get the feeling you probably have some kind of a law degree or something. You're like so comfortable with all these
Yeah. I
hoops you have to
studied
jump through.
politics. I went to school for politics,
No
graduated with a
kidding.
degree in poli sci, and I
I'll be
worked in
darned.
Albany. Yeah, I got an internship up there.
Oh,
I ended up staying for a full year. I lived there for a while. So I got familiar with how politics and how
good
bills
for you.
work. Yeah, so that was
The
really
re-
helpful. It was a
the rest of us wouldn't have a clue. It's like all these people and all these a state senator, a council person. Oh my God, who's
yeah,
where? Who's on first? That's
so
incredible.
first. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it
that's
was
so
eye-opening.
cool. That's
Yeah.
the one thing you didn't mention in the care centers was the litter box. There
Oh
must
yeah,
be
the
something. You have to have a litter box and keep it clean.
exactly, exactly. Actually, it's funny you should say that. We just worked with a company called LaSure, and they donated 10 litter boxes, electric litter boxes that clean themselves. They donated them to 10 bodegas that we partnered up with, and
Wow.
cat beds. Yeah, so we gave 10 cat beds, 10 cat
Wow.
litter robots, to bodegas across New York City.
So you're doing like you're going way above and beyond.
I'm
You're
trying.
improving the lives of all these cats, not just their legality, but they're going to be living large.
Yeah, ideally. Yeah, let's pamper them. Let's spoil our cats. They do
That's
so
so
much for
great.
us.
That's
Yeah.
so great. Do you happen to live with a feline?
I do. I have two. Yeah. I don't know if you could see it over my shoulder here, but
Oh yeah,
there's my
there's the
cat
cat
tree.
tree. Very
And then
good tree right in the window.
yeah, they love it over there. That's I think that's Coco up top, and then Charles is the one below. So they're two ragdoll cats. Yeah,
Oh
the joys of my
really?
life. Yeah,
Oh,
beautiful
people
cats.
love the ragdolls. They're such lovers, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they should like crazy and nerdy as hell. Grab 20 pounds each, but they're the joys of my life. I absolutely
Oh,
love these
isn't
cats.
that great? You know what, Dan? It's been a complete delight to talk to you.
Oh, my pleasure.
As soon as you have copies of the book, we'll talk off the air. You get me a
Hmm.
copy so I can study it, and then you'll come back, and people will be thrilled to have the Bodega Cat book. It sounds so
Yeah.
great. What a wonderful
Oh,
project.
wow.
Thank you for all this
Thank you so
hard
much,
work you're
Tracy.
doing for cats who don't even know they should all call themselves Oreo Ramada or Charcoal Ramada. They should all take your last name because look, they're all like your little adopted cats. You've made
It
their
sounds
life
like a
so
good
much
project.
better. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying. The
it's
unsung
great.
heroes are really the cat rescues across New York City. They really deserve a ton of credit. They
Oh yeah,
before I was around, cat rescues were the ones really taking care of our bodega cats.
that's true. But now they can do it with a smile and not feel that someone's
Exactly.
going to say to them, "What are you doing? These cats don't belong here." Yeah, they do actually by law. It's
Exactly.
great. It's
Yeah, we want to
great to
support them.
meet you. All such
Thank
really
you,
good,
Tracy.
positive, upbeat news. And when you come back with the book, I'm sure you'll be able to tell us what's legal and it's cats in New York City, state,
Definitely.
you name it. And I hope that it's a
Let's
nice
hope.
template for those other cities around the country that have bodega cats, and they too need to be validated. Thanks again.
Absolutely.
Take
My
care.
pleasure.
Good luck with the vote. Take care.